Wow. I tell you, you have to ask yourself what happened last night with the with the joint address that the president did with Congress. The State of Congress address that he did. I mean, you know, I get that no matter what party you're on, no matter what you represent or believe in, when you're a part of that party, whether you're part of a certain subsection of that party or not, you know, it's not going to it's not going to matter who the leader of the country is. You know, basically you're going to not have any fond feelings for that person. Period. You're not going to trust them. You're not going to want to work with them and everything. You're not going to want to basically say, yeah, this person we hear did something, but let's take it by ear, see what the truth is, and all that. And I do apologize for that vibration. I'm recording this on my phone. But anyway, you're always going to have, certain party members, feel that way. And they're going to let it be known. They're going to let it be known. There is no doubt. And last night, the Democrats, and I'm sure some Republicans, some independents, and some Green Party members, they let it be known that, yeah, they're not very fond of Trump. They're not very fond of some of the decisions he wants to have made. And they are doing their darndest, if you will, to make sure whatever bills coincide with his executive orders get shut down for the time being. Now, just because these bills will get shut down for the time being that coincide with his executive orders doesn't mean basically they're going to be shut down permanently. Because, look, we got midterms, and everybody is saying that unless the Dems and some Repubs and some Green Party and independent members, kind of have a change of tune in their thinking, basically whatever seats they're holding on to right now, come 2026, those seats are going to go bye-bye. And they're not going to want that. They're not going to want to be, they're not going to want that to happen, or they'll not be happy about it, I should say. But that's the reality. That's the reality. But basically the Dems, were very a lot of people look at it and they're like, these Democrats, a majority of the Democrats, some of the Republicans, some independents, some Green Party members were very disrespectful. They were. I mean, what's surprising is there were some Democrats and, Green Party and independent members that, were on Trump's side. They were cheering for him and agreeing with what he was saying. But a majority of them, they were mad. They were just upset. They were mad. They walked out. They had little picket signs, the kind that, you would look like you're fanning yourself with at, let's say, a festival, a fiesta, or whatever. So they had stuff like that where basically they read, they read things like not true, lies, false, scam, stuff like that, just to try to get under Trump's skin and everything. But the star of all that was Al Green, the Texas Democrat representative, congressman, if you will. He was the star of all that. And people were like, when they saw this guy do what he did, because this is the guy that for the upteenth time is trying to get Trump impeached. He did this during Trump's first term, and he's trying to do it again during his second term. And why? Why is he wanting Trump impeached? What's the issue? What, just because he was a Republican and all that? Or is it because, like a lot of Democrats, some Republicans, independents, and Green Party members, they believe everything Trump's been accused of? They believe he's done this, when it comes to taxes and, he's done these crimes that makes him a felon. He's done what he did to the Stormy Daniels girl and all that, which makes him a, the R word, if you will. I don't want to say it because of YouTube. But, it's like, Is that the reason? Is that the reason? Because if it is, then what is it going to take for them to get off of Trump's back and on his side? What is it going to take for Al Green? What is it going to take for Elizabeth Warren? What is it going to take for all of them to say, hey, Trump, we agree with you, we're on your side now? And I thought about this too, and I'm thinking, is Trump going to have to come out and say, you know what? I've decided that even though I know I'm not guilty of these things, to prove I'm a fair leader, I'm going to spend 24 hours behind bars to pay for these false crimes and all that. Is that what it's going to take? Is it going to take him being behind bars for 24 hours at a local jail or prison, just so basically the Dems could get what they want and they can say, yes, we win the war, or yes, he paid for his crimes? Is that what it's going to take? Because if that's what it's going to take, then I don't think Trump would have a problem doing it, because obviously he'll have security around him, there's no doubt, to make sure he's safe and everything. But yeah, is that what it's going to take? Because if it is, like I said, I don't think he'll have a problem doing it. If he knows it's going to get the Dems and, a majority of the Democrats, some of the Republicans, independents, and Green Party members on his side. If, if that's what it's going to take. But we'll see. We'll see, because it seems that is the main issue sometimes. That is the main issue. Now, some would say that the reason they're mad is because basically everybody is seeing what Trump and any other Republican and even sensible Democrat, independent, and Green Party members have been saying, about their previous reign over the country, with Biden in charge, and that is the fact that they basically lied, they manipulated, and now people are seeing through it. Well, a majority of people are seeing through it, not everybody. Not everybody's seeing through it, but a majority are, and that's what's upsetting them. The fact that everybody now sees through the schemes, and basically, they are essentially just shooting themselves in the foot. They're shooting themselves in the foot, if you will, because, of them being exposed, of them being found out. And again, last night was another public example of them basically letting their anger, the anger at themselves, the blame at themselves, last night was another example of it manifesting. It was another example of it manifesting. And you had this group of women in the Congress on the Democrat side, I'm sure some Republicans, independents, and Green Party members, that wore pink, They were wearing pink in support of, fighting cancer and stuff like that, right? So even when Trump, honorably makes a 13-year-old kid who wants to be a cop, who's a cancer survivor and who is surviving pediatric cancer or whatever it is, basically when Trump decides, hey, I'm going to do one better for you, we're going to make you an honorary Secret Service agent and everything, even after he does that, which you think should get an applause all about, there was no applause. They ignored it. They walked out. You have people like Rachel Maddow and others in the media that is against Trump and all that are Democrats, extreme left wing, wokeness and everything, criticizing it. It's like basically, what's the deal that you can't even, support that you let your pettiness, your anger get the best of you, and everything, to where you don't even want to support that. And again, this is just another example of them being angry at themselves, them being, them blaming themselves, internally, if you will. But in reality, visually, they're putting the blame on other people, on Trump, on the Republicans, on the American people, and all that, and not themselves. And they had an opportunity to kind of put that aside for this one moment, and they didn't do that. Which was very disrespectful in a lot of people's eyes. And then, like I said, this Al Green guy did what he did, and it's like a lot of people look at him and like, what is this guy even doing in Congress? Who voted him in? Who believes a word that he says? A lot of people say he looks like a bum. They came off the street that just looks nice and everything. Some, I'm sure, have other ideas because he has this cane and he's pointing to people like the Republicans almost like in a threatening manner. Some would say he looks like he's someone that could be tied to the mafia or something. And if that's the case, then what the hell? But we don't know. We don't know. But the thing is, the way they acted last night and everything is just an example, another visual example of them, not taking the blame, not taking responsibility, for them failing, for them being exposed and all that. And again, it's not just that either. It's the fact, and I said this before, and I'll say it again. I say it with all due respect. No offense. They are upset. A majority of the Democrats, that being female Democrats, they're upset that once again, for the third time, a woman was denied a chance to lead the country. That's what they're upset about. They are upset about that because once again, a woman was not given a chance to become the first woman president. And it's like, look, when are you going to get it through your head? You're going to get your opportunity. I believe, I've said this before many times, I'll say it again. I believe that before this decade's out, we will have a woman president. We will. It's going to come, I've got a feeling you're going to have a woman president. I got a feeling that when it comes to like who the nominees are, like the finalists for both parties in 2028, you're looking at Vance and probably that Nikki lady, from last year, being, for the Republicans, and I see Kamala, and I don't know who else would be Kamala, and maybe I don't know who else could it be? Someone Newsom, Kamala and Newsom being the finalists for the Democrats. I could see that. I could see that being a reality, and I would not be surprised that because you have two females there, that one of them will get in, this year, whether it's from the Dem side or the Republican side. That I've got a feeling that's going to happen. But I think but again, that's the other reason why they're upset. That's why you hear Rachel Maddow and all of them on the liberal, democratic, left wing, extreme left wing, whatever, saying the things they do. It's not just because of what they believe in when it comes to, Donald Trump being accused of things he probably did or didn't do or whatever the case may be, but it's mainly because, once again, a woman was an elected president. If they would just come out and say, look, personally, yes, leader-wise and getting our country back on track, yes, we believe Donald's the best, choice for right now, but the truth is, we're just upset at the fact that, once again, you, the American people, didn't allow a woman to become the leader of the country. That's all they have to say. That's all they have to say, but they're not doing it. Instead, they are throwing a pity party. They're throwing a pity party, and it's making their party and those associated with them from other parties, even some Republicans, Independents, and Green Party members, look bad. And if I'm those members of the Republican Party and members of the Independent Party and Green Party, if I'm them, I start to distance myself away from these Dems, these liberal Dems and whatever, and just, go out and speak my piece and be done with it. That's what I would do. But yeah, Trump, he did a good job last night. There is no doubt. He did, a decent job, a great job in his first state of address, if you will, with Congress and in front of the world and all that. Did a great job. But in front of the world, once again, the Dems made themselves look like clowns, unfortunately. So hopefully they'll learn from this, and the next time something like this comes around, within this year and in the next coming years, they'll learn better and everything, and they'll basically be like, keep it cool, let them speak, cheer for what we could agree with, and just not cheer for what we don't agree with. That's all they have to do. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on what happened last night. Let me know if you watched the state Congress address, if you will. And until next time, I am out.